Highlight und willkommen zurück zu Tales of Vesperia. Im letzten Part haben wir Judith wieder getroffen und sie will uns jetzt alles erzählen. Und wir haben natürlich auch zwei von der Hunting Blade Gilde hier erstmal besiegen müssen, weil die hinter Judiths Drachen, Fisch, whatever hier waren. Und wir schauen mal, was jetzt kommt hier.
What's happening?
Baul is trying to evolve as an Interlochaea.
It looks like he's suffering.
Baul, come on.
You can do it!
No!
I want to heal your wounds, but there's nothing I can do. My power is poison.
Healing wounds isn't your power, Estelle.
What do you mean?
Don't you remember Bellius's words?
Power corrupts, but you are different. Never lose that kindness, the compassion you so readily show to others.
My compassion for others.
Your thoughts are reaching Baul. I'm sure of it.
All we can do now is hope for the best. Well now.
Amazing!
I knew you could do it.
Your partner seems like he's gonna be just fine.
Yes, thank you all for helping to protect him. This is something I couldn't have done alone.
You're one of us! Of course we'd help!
That's right!
Didn't I tell you? You got through to him. You make it through to Phaeron as well. Will you be going to meet him?
And that's up to Estelle to decide.
I'll go. It's been the purpose of my journey after.
Are you sure? What if you end up getting killed?
Even still,
It won't be too long before the hunting blades send reinforcements. How about a change in scenery before they show up and spoil the party?
There's only one path down from here, though. We're bound to run into them.
The skies are wide open above us.
Have you lost your mind?
Get on. We'll fly as far as we can finish talking once we arrive.
Halt, stopp. Halt, da war noch ein Weg. Wäre ich mal noch den Weg hochgegangen. Aha, er kann das ganze Schiff heben. Daran kann ich mich aber nicht mehr erinnern.
Judy!
She's sleeping. She must be exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, she just keeled over. Wasn't expecting that.
I bet she watched over Baul the entire time he was evolving. She probably didn't get much sleep. She probably had no idea when the hunting blades would
She was putting up a brave front, but she must have been near the end of her rope.
She's just dumb. She doesn't know how to express what she's feeling.
And I'm really glad we're able to help Jude.
We can finish talking with her tomorrow. We should let her sleep now. In fact, I wouldn't mind a little shut-eye myself.
Hallo, ich wollte schlafen.
Is that the core from the Ceres Blastia that Judy destroyed?
Yes, it's definitely cut with a different formula than a usual core. It looks like what she said was true.
She said she wasn't too good at lying after.
To discover that the new technique you created was bad for the world, I can't imagine how the person who created the Hermes technique must have felt.
Well, what if it had been you?
If I found out that it hurt the Earth, I would have to do something about it. But I wouldn't destroy the Blastia like that.
What the?
Nothing. If only things weren't so complicated. I could have just blasted her into oblivion and been done with it.
Also wieder mit allen reden.
Are you thinking about Judy?
Yeah. I'm wondering what we should...
It's true that she broke the guild's laws and betrayed us.
I always thought that a guild's strict adherence to its own laws, that there could be no exceptions. But...
She did what she did to save the world. Judy is destroying Blastia because she knows it's the right thing to do.
Yep. Judith didn't break our laws in order to do something. I know this now. I'm gonna talk with her about it and give it some more thought. I'll figure...
Oh yeah?
Maybe if I become a little more
Oh, Yuri.
Sorry to interrupt while you were thinking.
Ever since I took Belius's life without meaning to, I've wanted to know what it means to be the child of the full moon. I've always thought that it was, but after what happened to...
That's how everyone is. They do something, they learn.
You too, Yuri?
Yeah?
Maybe if I had known everything ahead of time, I wouldn't have made any mistakes.
There's only one thing I can say for sure.
What's that?
Maybe you wouldn't have made any mistakes, but...
I really wonder.
So does an old man past his prime fit into the picture at all?
What are you whining about, old man? Why are you past your prime?
What Judith was talking about before, Hermes Blastia created with techniques that should have been lost in the war are still active. Do you know what this means?
I guess someone who survived the war brought either Blastia or those techniques.
If that person was still using the Blastia even though he knew it was harmful to the Earth, someone like that would have to be quite the villain indeed.
Old man, don't tell me you...
Hey now, yours truly was nothing but an innocent youth on the straight and narrow back. I wouldn't do something like that even on my worst...
I was just trying to trick you into giving yourself away.
Son of a... What are you...
Don't fall overboard.
Oh, I'll be careful. Yuri, the world sure is...
Yeah, even though we're flying this high in the air.
If the world's this big, I guess it makes sense that there'd be so many things. It might not make that much of a difference whether I get my memories back or not.
Are you saying you'd be okay with not getting them back?
I'm saying that I'm not the only one who feels restless and anxious not knowing the truth. Everyone's worried about something. Even you and Estelle.
You think so?
Isn't that why everyone's here? Isn't that why
And is that why you're here too?
I don't want to be alone.
You know, you're being pretty honest.
I'm always honest.
Really? What?
Morning, Yuri.
Morning.
It's a beautiful morning, but even as we stand here, the air is out of balance, and our world may already be...
That's right.
Judy!
Well, look who's feeling better.
In the past, these slight fluctuations of the air have not negatively affected our world. There have always been beings who maintain the balance by sensing changes in the airflow. Beings like Phaeron and Baul, the Entelekea.
So the Entelekea were responsible for keeping the air balanced.
For ages, the Entelekea have regulated the air, but the recent increase has been greater than they could control.
Which is being caused by the Hermes Blastia.
And which is also why you were going around taking down as many of them as you could.
Yes, that was my mission. The path I walk with Baul, to whom I owe my life.
The path you walk.
Now some would even hunt the Intellikeia for apatheia. This has made the mission of the Intellikeia even more difficult.
Why is everybody so crazy about these apatheia anyway?
I'm afraid I don't have an answer. The air an Intellikeia absorbs becomes condensed within its body over time. When its life is at an end, that condensed air forms a crystal, an apatheia. That's all I know. I imagine Phaeron could shed more light on the subject, though.
So apatheia are crystals of concentrated air. If that's true and the energy could be extracted from the apatheia, it would be a source of overwhelming power, I'm sure.
Could we really do that?
I don't know.
But if that's possible, there must be tons of guys who want those things.
I bet somebody wants to use these things for the wrong reason.
Why didn't you just tell us all this from the...
Seriously, we could have avoided all this trouble if you just talked to us. Am I wrong?
Even if you had known, there are things not even you could have prevented.
What do you mean?
I showed up at Heliord because Baul had sensed a disturbance in the air. Where there was a disturbance, there was sure to be a Hermes Blastia. But what I found there was not a Blastia. It was a person. That had never happened before.
So it wasn't like you were looking for Estelle in particular back at Helior.
Yet for some reason, Baul perceived Estelle as a disturbance in the air. I had to find out why. For the sake of the path It was at that time that Phaeron first appeared. He seemed to have some idea who Estelle was. My mission was to destroy all the Hermes However, Estelle was obviously not a Blastia. I needed to make I made a deal with Phaeron, and he agreed to grant me some time.
You mean...
If it became apparent that her existence posed too great a threat, then I would kill her.
You what?
Wait!
Settle down. Obviously, Judith reached a different conclusion.
All right, I get it.
Bellius said you possess a heart of compassion. If you can communicate that to Phaeron somehow, you may learn what you should do.
Hey, there's no real reason for you to fight Phaeron. I mean, we know the Hermes Blastia are what's causing the problem and everything. If we just make sure the apatheia don't fall into the wrong hands...
I still want to meet Phaeron.
But...
Please try to understand. I have to know more about myself, and take responsibility for who I am.
All right.
Sorry, Yuri. I don't think we can decide what to do about Judith right away.
I promise not to leave again until things have been settled, as you I need to accept that responsibility.
Let's go and find Phaeron. We'll finally be getting around to one of the first things we set out to do. We can work out the rest once this is finished.
There is a rocky crag in the center of the sands of Kogor. That is where Phaeron lives. Baul can take us there.
Okay, let's go.
I can communicate with Baul, but there are still a few things you should know.
Like what?
Baul can only land on the ground in wide, open space, so you won't be able to dismount on...
Can't he land on water?
Water's no good either.
Really? He looks like he'd be a good swimmer.
Yeah, he'd sink like...
Huh.
But that's why we have a ship, right?
Right. If you'd like to get down onto the ocean, let me know. Baul will set our ship down there for us.
Okay, but what should we do when we want to fly again?
Use Baul's horn to call him to you.
Bowels.
Every Intellikeia has a special region in its brain that can be used for communication.
Huh. So we can get a hold of him.
Right.
Langsam wird's kompliziert. Ich ignoriere das mal. Ja. Okay. Und wenn ich hier wieder runter möchte, weil ich einmal komplett auf den Berg hochrennen möchte. Er trägt uns auch noch im Mund. hier, in diesem, nee, das ist das, wo der Kampf war, oder nicht? Hier ist diese Stadt. Ach, meinen Sie das Ding hier? Ja. Okay. Oh, ich kann sogar direkt da reingehen. Nice.
So this is where Phaeron is?
Should be. I wasn't able to see him when we came to the desert, but I think this is where we can meet.
I hope nothing bad will happen.
I can't make any guarantees.
That just means we need to do our best.
Carol, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Phaeron sure did pick a bleak place to live.
They say this area used to be covered in lush...
Why did it turn into this
I don't know that.
Estelle, are you really even though you could be killed?
Yes.
Ach so, sie muss nur einmal ihre Magie wirken, damit er stirbt, aber...
Rita, you've been acting a little funny ever since hearing Judy's story. Do you have a problem with meeting Phaeron?
I just think it'll be hard on her to hear what he has to say. But it's too late to turn. We've come this far after all.
Well, he doesn't seem to be here.
Phaeron, you are here.
Insipid poison, you appear before me at last.
So you are here. Is that how you greet all your guests, Phaeron? By calling them names?
For what reason have you come to me? Surely you are aware that I could end your existence with a mere thought.
You talk pretty big, don't you? Well, if you really want to fight,
Yuri, no!
Estelle!
Das Hühnchen schaffe ich.
Phaeron, please hear what I have to...
Does death hold no fear for you, little one? For you gaze now into the mouth.
I am afraid, but I'm even more afraid of dying without knowing who I really am. Velius told me I needed to meet you to learn about my destiny. I have to know just what that destiny is. I understand that I am a threat to the Entelikeia, but you said that I am a poison. What is this power I have? Just who is the child of the full... If it is true that my existence cannot be tolerated, then it's okay if I have to... But I at least deserve to know why it is I have... Please tell me. I beg of you.
There was a time when this was a verdant land, sheltered by the blessing of an air crene.
So there was an air crene here. But what happened? Why did it change?
What you see are the results of too much air and its aftermath. As to why the air ran rampant, the answer lies with the poison brought by the child of the full moon.
Huh?
The power of the child of the full moon stimulates the air crene more than any blastia.
Huh?
Blastia convert air into energy by way of a formula. So if Estelle can use her healing arts without the aid of any blastia, she must possess a formula in her very being that lets her convert air into energy. Judith was searching for blastia that used a particular kind of formula. So, this special formula Estelle has must also consume massive amounts, which causes the air crene to become more active and pump out more air than they should. I had hoped my hypothesis would have been wrong.
Then,
It is as she has said. With each use of her power, the child of the full moon uses far more air than the blastia. In so doing, the imbalance of air in this world is furthered. For the planet, such an existence can only be called a poison.
So you just wipe it out then? Little quick to judge, aren't you?
This problem concerns the entire planet, and she is its cause. To do nothing would be unparalleled folly.
If the problem's with Estelle, then it's for us to solve.
That's right. We can't let anyone else handle it.
The gravity of this situation is beyond your grasp.
You don't honestly think that everything's gonna be all sunshine and rainbows if Estelle dies?
It would at least eliminate one problem.
Pharaoh, at Heliord I stopped myself. And again at Dawngrest I stopped you. What I thought was a Blastia turned out to be a human. Before I realized it, I had lost my way. I never thought this child could be as great a danger as you had said.
And due to your confusion, I granted you the time necessary to see. As a result, my sister Belius is now lost to me. Enough.
Not sure I understand all this, but if her power's the problem, why can't she just not use...
There can be no guarantee she will not try to use the power.
That's true. She does have trouble turning a blind eye to things happening around her. Someday she will surely use her power to help someone. However, as long as she keeps that spirit of compassion, she cannot only be seen as harmful. She is not like a Blastia. I know that you can feel the difference.
Compassion alone will not save this world.
Listen, Pharaoh, I get that you've thought all this through with everybody's best, but why doesn't that world have a place for Estelle?
It is sometimes necessary to remove a part to save the whole.
I don't buy that for a second. What makes you so high and mighty that you're the one to decide who gets cut and who doesn't?
We have endured the anxiety of existence for far greater a span than you can conceive. Such words mean nothing from those who call this world home for but a fleeting moment.
Pharaoh, please, listen. The important thing is finding a way to stop the excessive air, correct? We still have time left to search for...
Judith.
And if the effects of Estelle's power reach their absolute limit, I will kill her as promised. You should have no complaint with this.
Hey, Judith, are you serious?
I'm sure brave Vesperia will come up with something before that happens, right?
What?
Score one for Judith, so that settles it. If we humans are to blame for Estelle's problem and bringing on the apocalypse, then it's up to us to make things right. If we give it all we've got and still blow it, you can slow roast us on a grill for all...
You have changed. If you were still as before...
Have I? That is nice to hear.
Very well. Be ever mindful, though, that time is fleeting.
Wait! If the formulas are causing the excessive air, then there must have been times when this happened in the past. I mean, the Blastia were a product of an ancient civilization.
There exist those who have inherited the sins of the past, if any yet can speak of what occurred in the days of old.
He's gone.
Bye-bye.
Judith. You too.
No problem.
What?
It's okay if I have to die? What the hell was that?
I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear that again.
I'm sorry.
Man, I was really worried there for a while.
We were pretty lucky that bruiser was in a mood for conversation. Poor Raven's heart can't handle that sort of stuff any...
You're pretty gutless for an old man.
Geez, Patty, you've really got nerves of steel.
If he really wanted to kill Estelle, he'd have attacked us immediately, and that's what I can't figure out.
I imagine Pharaoh was conflicted as well. He hid himself from us in the desert to see just what we were made of.
Huh. Maybe he wasn't as bad as we thought out.
You might be right. I get the feeling he'd do whatever's necessary when push comes to
That sounds like you.
Maybe.
But what are we gonna do, Yuri?
We're going to fix the problems the air's causing, and
That's easier said than done. We're pretty much at square one, you know.
Mm-hmm. And no one wants to be at school.
There's no doubt that the formulas are related somehow to the air getting used up. We need to find out about the ancient Blastia, and if they went berserk or not. If we had that kind of information, it might give us a clue.
Ask those who have inherited the sins of the past about the days of old. Or at least that's what Pharaoh said.
The Critia were the ones to invent the Blastia. In other words, we need to ask a Critian who is still familiar with the old stories.
Yeah, the Critia are often credited as the inventors of the Blastia.
There isn't much left of the Critian city of Timza, though.
It'd be a lot easier if there were more cities.
The hidden city of Miorzo. It is far older than Timza, and the birthplace of the Kritya. The first Blastia also originated there.
Really? Well, you wouldn't happen to know where this Myorzo might be, would you, darling?
I've heard that name somewhere. There was a Critian in Ospio. I'm sure they mentioned something about it.
Do you think that person might still be there?
Well, there's no harm in checking it out.
Judith, are you coming with us?
I should. We still have the issue of the guild to straighten out.
So, to Ospio then.
Oh Gott. Wo war das denn nochmal? Überlegen. Da ganz hinten rechts, ne? Kann das sein? Nee. Dann mal ein bisschen drehen. So. Ich glaube, das ist da ganz hinten rechts gewesen. Genau.
It's been another long day.
I second that.
Well, I suppose we...
Wait, there's something I want to take...
You mean me?
Carol,
This is a guild thing.
I've thought about it a lot. And I realized we have to figure out a few things if we're gonna keep this.
It sounds like you've decided what...
Well, we said it before. Those who break the laws suffer strict. They say that's the source of a guilt.
Yes.
So what I'm thinking is we all have to receive punishment.
What do you mean?
I didn't know that Judith was fighting for our planet all on her own. But even though I didn't know, I still failed to help a fellow guild. So I gotta accept my punishment. Yuri?
Me?
Maybe you were trying to follow your own path. There's no way that...
So you gar nicht.
Now we...
The laws are... What if someone... To be honest. So that's... What do you think?
I can't
Well, if that would be my...
And what if I destroy a Blastia that our guild was planning on using again? That would be breaking the law that says I should act in the interest of the...
But you'd also be acting for the sake... Guilds aren't there.
But you've got me into...
There's no need to...
I thought, but I might not. This is a way...
I just want
to... You heard the man.
You really are, I suppose.
All right, then.
They're just...
there's something beautiful.
Brave Vesperia, sure.
Do you want to join
Can't right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, what about the punishment?
Oh, yeah. I almost forgot.
Looks like you guys are on Critian...
Hey, why do you...
Excuse me?
No.
Okay.
Carol, were you thinking by yourself this whole time about...
So. Ihr Haus war ich. Okay. Und jetzt müssen wir eine Kritien suchen irgendwo in der Stadt. Du?
You're searching for Myorzo? That's the name of the city that they talk about in the Critian legends. That's all I know. Location? I don't know where. And even if I knew, I don't think it will be of any good to tell it to someone other than a...
Aha, okay.
That wasn't bad, Carol.
Ich gehe mal hier runter zum Speichern und dann sehen wir uns wieder im nächsten Part. Ciao, Leute.